Hello, today I'm going to share with you the American pronunciation of European cities. So you don't have to use this pronunciation. If you'd like, you can always use the British pronunciation, or you can use the pronunciation of the country that the city is actually in. Alright, but I just want to go over this so that when you hear these words, these pronunciations, you're not surprised. All right, we're going to start far west in Europe with Portugal, and there the biggest city, the capital, is Lisbon. Lisbon. And before we go further, this is my pronunciation, and I think I have a pretty standard American pronunciation, but other Americans you meet might pronounce these a little bit differently as well. All right, and then in Spain, the two biggest cities are Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona. Most Americans will pronounce the C like a S sound, which is different than they actually pronounce it in Catalan there. And then it's always funny with England that I would say London, which is slightly different than the pronunciation that the British people do, but I can't do a good British accent, so yeah, that's it for now. Also, Manchester. Another city in England. Then moving back to the continent and away from the island, we'll talk about Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And then in Belgium, the biggest city, I think the biggest city, the most well-known, is Brussels. Going through France, it's a little bit different than the French would say it, but in English, in American English, we usually say Paris, France. Down to Italy, we have Rome. A big one that was trouble for me as I was learning German is I pronounced Zurich incorrectly. So in English, it's usually Zurich with a k sound instead of the sh sound, which we don't really have in English. And yeah, as you may know, I live in Germany, so there the pronunciations, I'm a little bit more familiar with the local pronunciations. I live in Berlin, and then in some cities it's way different. For example, in German, in München is the German way of saying it, but we even write it differently in English, and that's Munich. And then moving down to Austria, we have Vienna. And then in Hungary, most Americans would say Budapest instead of Budapest with the sh sound like they do actually in Hungarian. Czech Republic, Prague. Over in Slovakia, we have Bratislava. In Poland, Warsaw. And then up in Scandinavia, you have cities like Stockholm, or Oslo in Norway. So I think that's enough for today. But as you can see, also, the country names are sometimes different than they are. You know, it's not España, it's Spain in English. So if you go through and watch the video again, you can see how I also pronounce all these country names. So that's it for today. If you have anything else that you'd like to hear an American pronunciation of, then feel free to write it in the comments below. And remember, you can say it however you want in the language of the city that it's in, or British English or American English. It's your choice, but this video is really to help you if other people are talking about this city that you might hear it said in this way when you're speaking to Americans. All right, that's it for today. See you next time.